You were staunchly against Pogba, probably more
I wasn't
so.
staunchly
probably
against,
more so than me.
staunchly
I mean, well,
against
you and Dude, you were having a pretty
no
heated
one's
battle
angrier
across
about
the,
him being in the team of the year than United fans.
across the office.
Because they watch him all day. And
I guess it's because we watch 90 minutes.
Okay, so 22 goal involvements in 31 starts. I think as of February, I don't think anyone had contributed to more goals across Europe's top 5 leagues. Only 4 central midfielders have contributed to more goals than him. So these look good, don't they, from a top line perspective, but you've done a little bit of digging and maybe what the numbers have been massaged slightly?
I think they've been massaged. The
open play goals thing is pretty
trouble is for Paul,
damning.
He's got absolute rubbish around it. Which it's harder to create and to be the driving force of a midfield when you are the only midfielder at times. United have a 40-yard chasm in midfield. Pogba's picking the ball up on the edge of his defensive line and people are asking him to score at the other end. That's a big problem for him. And I just don't think, like, he had a great 2 months or 3 months at the start of the Solskjaer tenure. When Solskjaer came in late December, and you're right, first 2 months were incredible. I think of his 90, how many goal involvements has he got? 20 goal involvements,
22,
something like that?
yeah,
22 goal involvements. I think 15 came in that 3 month period. So he had an incredible 3 months, and they were flying and hitting the back of the net. Admittedly, 7 of his goals were from open play, were from penalties. 2 further were from penalty rebounds that he'd missed penalties off. So 9 penalties effectively of the 13 goals he scored. But still a driving force, still a massive catalyst for our attacks. One of the few players who can actually create a chance in our midfield and team as a whole. Definitely United's best player. But just by being Man United's best player doesn't mean you are worthy of the team of the year. Because United have been crap.
Go on. I thought herein lies the actual kind of
brilliant player,
issue with
but not
with
brilliant
team of the year.
in terms of
is
the
it
league
how influential
context?
you are? Is it how influential you are to your team in that position while having an individually good season, or is it a team that is more than the sum of their parts when they're created in its entirety?
It's difficult because I love Paul and he's definitely United's best player. Been United's best player this season, but United have been rubbish. So it's like contextually, he's been good for United. But comparatively to some other players in the league, he's just not there.
So he's just become your Ozil, man. Like he's become
your
Ozil. Like,
he's the whipping boy.
Yeah, he's the guy who, like, whenever anything goes wrong, they're like, you're the guy who was meant to make us good. And so if United aren't good, they're like, well, who are the good players here? It's Pogba. Whereas they're like, Ashley Young can't be better than he is because he's old and now. Like, and that's not his fault. He's 35. Although, like, what's he going to do?
There were some pundits last night. I'm not going to name names, but somebody said, you know, players like Paul Pogba, senior players, these are the pundits' words.
Oh, he's a senior player now.
Need to look at Jesse Lingard and put their arm around Jesse Lingard as a younger player and go, you need to be doing more. Pogba is younger than Lingard. Pogba's younger than Lingard.
And also,
what are we doing here?
And also, Lingard's been at the club for longer. So when you start to band around like understanding the values of Manchester United, then it's actually Jesse Lingard that should be proliferating that around the side because he gets it because he's been through the academy.
When Pogba's slamming balls through the midfield, a great midfield splitting ball, and it's hitting the knee of Lukaku and flying 20 yards out of play for a throw-in. There's not much more Paul can do.
Well, this is the thing, right? Like you do sometimes see a midfielder on a smaller club, and you think, you know what, like he's someone we're interested in, we'll buy him. But I think it's quite. Whereas with attackers, you can see an attacker be amazing for a bad side. You very rarely see a midfielder be truly great for a side that doesn't have good structure and good players around him. It's a position where it's really, really hard to be like world class, kind of on your own.
Yeah.
Like I genuinely can't think of a midfielder in the last few years where I thought they were genuinely world class despite not having good players around.
Because you look at the flip side, and when someone like Bernardo Silva, who's also in the team, comes into Manchester City, this highly structured, very clearly defined system, it allows him to prosper, doesn't it? Because he knows what he's doing in multiple positions, whereas Pogba's in one position but has to do multiple things.
And we can all agree, if Pogba was sat in a Manchester City midfield, he'd probably be one of the best midfielders in the world.
Or last summer, for instance, when he had N'Golo Kante next to him, and he was incredible at the World Cup and won the World Cup.
So I think, are we all in agreement that Pogba shouldn't be in this team of the year?
Yes, but I'm not
not that
as
mad about
I'm not as like fervently
Yeah,
against
yeah.
it as others.